All right. I'm ready when you are.
All right. 3, 2. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Age Gap Podcast. We are the Latchkey Kids where
The more things change,
the more they stay the same, baby. Look at my arm.
Yeah, you got it back, dude.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, only a third grader can beat me up.
Yeah, what was it before? Like second?
Oh, it was anything.
Just like a first
Toddler.
grade bully.
Yeah, first grade. Get over here, gimp. But right to it.
Yep.
Right to it. Lou, tell us what we were talking about today.
Today's episode, if you have noticed, we are at the table here at Foundrspace because today's vibe, I think this is something that hits close to home for both of us.
Yeah, this is a harkens long ago.
Yeah. Today's episode is breaking news, everybody. Today on the Atlantic Radio. Now I'm a Mexican on the radio.
Mexican? Oh, yeah. I was going to go with video killed the radio star.
It really did, because look, we have, in order for this podcast to be successful, we need video.
Remember we were originally just audio only?
Yeah.
And we were just kind of floundering in the Spotify black hole.
We had like 3 views. Yeah. 2 of them were me.
Yeah.
And 1 of them were you.
Yeah, that was it. That's what we got. But video did kill the radio star. And let's go back. Let's go, because we always do like a little bit of history and stuff like that, but we take it from our generations and things like that. When I was a kid growing up, to be on the radio was to be in Hollywood.
You were a star.
You were Brad Pitt. You were Leonardo DiCaprio. You were Taylor Swift, I guess. I don't know, but ironically, she's on the radio. But it was just crazy how throughout my age gap, it's become virtually irrelevant. I mean, and is it? I don't know. The kids.
Here's what I wonder, because
we might have jumped ahead, but it's all right.
I follow a lot of comedians, and I will see that their radio clips they do pretty well, but I wonder, like, how many tickets have they actually sold from being on the radio?
I'm honestly, with this chair, they could sell to me, probably.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
But, like, even though, remember you told me, like, you're even an advanced generation, there's a generation under you now?
Yeah.
They're not selling anything.
They're not, no, nobody's listening to the radio, not their age.
I don't even think they know what it is.
To be honest, I'm not going to lie. The other day, my girl, she got tired of playing music, because I usually DJ when we're in the car.
Okay.
I let her DJ.
No, you have good taste, by the way.
Thank you.
You're very eclectic. It's good. I don't know.
And you know what? I used to want to have a radio show for that reason.
Well, you worked for a company, correct?
I worked at a radio station. Yes.
We
can get into that a little bit later. But
sorry, continue.
Let me know how you feel about this. So my girl was DJing. We were driving to the beach, and she got tired of DJing.
Okay.
So then we put on the radio, and I swear, bro, like a kind of like a tear was like about to come out of my eye, bro. Like it felt like home. It felt like so warm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
I was just like, oh my God. And they were doing the same shit. It was like, hey, 10 minutes, we're going to start giving out Disneyland tickets. Everybody tune in. If you're here right now, call this number, blah, blah, blah.
Be the 10th caller and, answer this trivia question.
My favorite is the radio gag. The fake caller.
Oh, yeah, we have that.
Jack FM was always the best.
Jack FM.
Hey, Jack, my mom says I can't come over to your house anymore. You're a bad influence. And they would cut into a song.
All right, before you get to that, I really want to take what Lou is talking about, the DJ, the car DJ.
Oh, man.
If you're going to, this was a big thing when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. If you're going to sit shotgun, you better know the stations.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're in the back and you're messing up by the way, DJ is short for disc jockey, which means you're, slinging the hits.
Slinging CDs, yep.
So when I was a kid, there was one kid with a car and like 6 kids would pile into it, We called it the ghetto bus. And if you got that shotgun seat and you're not making it happen, if you're putting on like Everclear or the more weaker stuff, you're in trouble, man. Because then you lose that position for a long time.
I got a question for you. What was the big station out in Boston when you were coming up?
The biggest one was Kiss 108.
So Kiss. All right. So out here we have Kiss 102.7.
Oh, okay. Kiss 108 FM.
Yeah.
But it got like, it was mom music kind. It was like U2.
That's exactly what it was here.
It was like, pop hits, And
all right. So now to kind of jump a little bit ahead now, I think that that's what killed radio.
Pop? Or
the fact that we both of our, you're on the East Coast, 10 years before I'm ever listening to the radio.
Correct.
I'm on the West Coast 10 years later, and they're playing the same exact shit, and it's the same company, the same, like 3-4 companies bought all the stations.
I got a question for you actually on that note, because Boston radio was very heavily favored their local artists, which sometimes good, sometimes bad. Aerosmith, we had Aerosmith was on all the time.
Oh, okay.
In LA, were they always playing like LA bands and stuff like Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we had we were heavy on the Chili Peppers, heavy on a lot of music comes out of here.
True. But you had
that 90s
that San Diego sound.
Yeah, that 90s rock wave definitely was you could still hear it today.
Yeah. What was it?
Sure.
Was it Blink 182? Was that you guys?
I think so, yeah, San Diego.
All the small things, something like that. But yeah, we had all regional stuff. We did national stuff too, but a lot of it was like regional. Like, oh, everybody wants to hear. I
guess I never got that feeling because LA is such a huge market that if you're on the radio, if you're from here and you're on the radio, you have already been signed. You're about to blow up. You know what I mean?
You know, it's crazy. Like, I watched the documentary. I grew up with these bands as I was young, but I loved it. Like Motley Crue, Poison, all that stuff came off the Sunset Strip. And once you got on the radio,
that was it.
You were getting chicks. You were doing the Whiskey Go Go, the Rainbow Room. Like, I've never been to any of these places, but I know them.
Right.
Yeah. What was it Johnny Depp? Or
he bought the
Snake
the
Room?
whiskey
No,
or the Viper Room.
Viper Room. Snake Room.
The Snake Room. That sounds terrible.
Where you going, honey? Snake Room.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna masturbate? Oh yeah. Basically.
How'd you know?
Yeah. But the radio was so great. I want to take it down.
All
so
right.
we got the car radio. If you were with your friend's dad, it was oldies. Always like Eagles. Or
the classic, classic rock,
Beatles, all that. Because there was out here in LA, you must have had an oldies station,
Oh, come on, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That oldie station like made it made a facet of my personality.
I loved it. I started getting into doo-wop.
Yeah,
because of my friend's dad.
So when I was growing up, I spent a lot of time with my cousin and like my aunt every summer. And they lived like borderline Pacoima.
Okay.
Which is like just a city in the valley.
Okay.
It's kind of like a little bit of a gangster city, a little bit of a Mexican gangster city.
Isn't it funny the nicest sounding cities turn out to be hellholes?
Yeah.
It's like, I live in Pacoima.
Yeah, exactly.
What sent you from?
It was basically like, you know who lived in Pacoima at the time? Was like background actors for Blood In, Blood Out. Like Louis Chavez would fit perfectly in Pacoima.
Central casting for Mexican stereotypical films.
That's why I was like, when he came in with that outfit, I'm like, this is how you know he lives in a nice neighborhood, bro.
Yeah, because he's...
If he was in Pacoima, dude, no, that shit ain't flying, bro. They're going to question him a little bit.
The thing I always get mad about myself with this show is I always come up with 100 questions after the guest leaves. I'm like, damn. I'm like, man.
Exactly.
I want to know if someone pressed that dude, but anyway.
Nah. He's the type of guy, Louis, shout out to Louis. And we need you all to stop bullying Louis in the comments for not knowing Spanish, bro. There's a lot of fools that don't know Spanish. No, he's the type of guy that fools would see him and be like, this fool's all right.
Yeah,
chilling.
Cool.
But no, yeah. So I spent a lot of time in Pacoima with my cousin, and her whole family was all just like blood in, blood out ass fools.
Right.
So the oldies station, that was on deck all day, bro.
Richie Valens and
a little bit of that, but it was more like me and Mrs. Jones. You know?
What was that? Hootie and the Blowfish?
No, that's fuck, I forget his name, bro. But it was
oh,
hey there, lonely girl.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. Yeah. You know, like shit that is like kind of a meme now.
Yeah. It was
like you see a Mexican listening to that, you're like, all right, fool, chill out, bro.
Some Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
Some Dion and the Belmonts.
And then, so while we're on this topic of the Pacoima, of the oldies station and all this stuff, can we give somebody some flowers?
Go for it.
Art LeBeau out here in LA. He did. So we have K-Day, which is a throwback station.
Okay.
So now it's a throwback hip hop station. Before, K-Day used to be the hip hop station. They were the first people to really put like hip hop and stuff on. And on Sundays, so they're playing the same music 20 years ago when they started, but now it's a niche again.
So are you saying but it's hip hop? Hip hop's back.
Back in the day, hip hop.
So if I broke out like my CD album, like that stuff.
Yeah, the hip hop box.
Yeah.
That's what's being played on K-Day now. But at the time, they were the first stations to even play that music because hip hop was not. It was a no-go out here. You know what I mean? Like they did not. This is around the time of NWA when they're getting banned and chased by the FBI. Right,
when the parental advisory stickers were coming on.
Exactly. So they were the first hip hop station, and now they keep playing the same music that they started with as an ode to them being the first hip hop station.
Good history lesson.
But on Sundays, no hip hop. Art LeBeau, the Art LeBeau show.
Okay.
All right. I think it was called like the Love Connection or something like that. And basically, Art LeBeau, he did oldies on Sundays, and this was the first time I ever heard like people that I'm familiar with doing shout outs. So you could call in and request a song. And I never heard of this before.
You never heard? Oh, that was huge when my generation, man. It was huge.
But it was a dedication always. So this is what you would hear. It would be like Art LeBeau show, you know, we're back. We got another song. This one from this one from Huggy Bear.
Yeah.
To his lady, Daisy, in prison. Stay up, baby girl. I'll be right back with you soon enough. Dude. And then it would be like, hey there, lonely girl.
Dude, you just tapped on something. I want to get into this real quick. This might take a little second. So in radio, if you don't know, a little history. We have AM and we have FM.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, nobody knows what
the difference is?
What it means.
Yeah.
So what do you think it means? Put you on the spot.
Okay, so I don't know what they stand for, like AM, PM. I don't get. Well, that one I do know, but
prime meridian.
Post meridian, whatever. But I think for me, what the difference between AM and FM is talk radio.
Okay.
AM was talk radio.
Yeah.
And FM, they had the jams.
Let me just go teach you a little. So AM is amplitude modulation and FM is frequency modulation. Okay. But gotcha. Like to your point, AM was purely talk, news, and like story time.
It was this. Ready? This is why I got the tea. Ready?
Yeah. This is literally what you got.
We are back with Kevin Murphy in the studio today. Kevin, your story about you fighting 15 kindergartners for your life is very inspirational. Can you just tell us a little bit of what exactly were you thinking?
Thanks for having me on the show, Lou. Yes, it was a very traumatic experience. It was, but to your point, because I'm about to fall asleep, that was the pacing of AM radio.
Yeah, that's AM radio.
Nobody was in a rush.
Look, when I was growing up, AM radio meant you were old fart.
Yeah, definitely.
Only old farts listen to
My
AM.
grandmother listened to
AM talk radio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, sit down, you got to hear this. And I was like,
yeah.
I think they did it to kids to put them to bed, you know?
Holy shit. We're missing out on a service, bro.
Yeah. But AM was your talk stuff. Now, as a little traviesos, which means troublemaker. I love that word.
Hey, there we go. My boy's learning. That's what's up. Sick ass food.
They had the call-in.
Ah, yes.
And if you were travieso, you were trying to get on that.
Yeah.
You were trying to call in.
Yep. That's why they don't let call-ins anymore.
No, because they didn't screen them.
Yep.
Back in the day, if you were calling into an AM studio, they had like a trust factor.
Yeah. This is back in the day when there was still honor.
Yeah. There was still
the honor code.
And it was so great fun. You're just sitting around the radio, right? And you got, the old school that rotary phone, and you and your friends are just like calling in. And then once you got in, you did like a setup, like, I'm having trouble with my dad, because it was,
hey, what's the reason for your call?
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
advice shows, like you said, the dating shows, stuff like that. And now that I look back on it, man, I probably took away a lot of therapy for the
right. You wasted, some guy was like loading up the gun on the phone, and then
don't say that.
and then you're just like my ass hurts.
Yeah, wiener. Guy's like, I guess nobody does love me.
Who knows? Maybe you saved some guy's life. He's loading up the gun and he hears your dumbass and he's like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, I'll just put this away for now.
Yeah. I'll just have a shot at Jack, call it a day.
Hey, this kid's onto something.
But I loved listening to people's problems.
Yeah.
Like, what's the audience
What's wrong with us, dude?
Yeah.
Me too.
It's just like, I haven't had sex in 2.5 years. It's like,
yeah, exactly. Also, what did you do? So I know what not to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I always thought that.
One sec.
Yeah, sorry.
Still going. Yep.
We good?
Yeah, I just.
Yeah, double check.
All right.
No, I always thought that. You know how, like, in elementary school at career day, they bring in the guy like, oh, my dad's a pilot. Yeah. My dad's a firefighter. It's like, bring in the kid whose dad's like an alcoholic, drug addict. It's like,
my dad's a barfly.
How'd you get started, sir?
Yeah.
I wasn't much older than you. It's
right.
Oh, okay.
Hilarious.
I'm on my 4th marriage.
So that was AM talk radio. After a while, I feel like the DJ, which was the FM.
Yes.
He became kind of his own celebrity, his own...
Big time.
Right?
Big time. That started with what? Dick Clark?
Yeah.
I think he was like one of the first... Oh, the Wolfman. Oh, I'm the Wolfman. That was like
maybe that was
way
East
before
Coast,
our time.
Old
way
school,
before our time.
Okay.
But he invented the term rock and roll.
Ah, really?
Because he's like, it's so loud in the studio. Things are rocking and rolling in here.
Ah, no shit. Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
I swear to God, that's where the charm comes from.
Are you serious?
I swear.
Oh, man.
Like it's so loud in here. Things are really rocking and rolling. And he had like a voice like that.
See, and that's when the DJ became a character. Everybody knew that there's a guy in the booth that makes the music happen.
Yes.
He's the guy. He's the guy with the coffee in one hand, the cigarette in the other, and he's just scrolling through CDs and just popping them in and
CDs, man. We're talking about flipping
records.
albums.
Yeah, exactly. And and so that became a character, and then every radio station had their guy.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it became larger than life. Now we're cooking. Now you really scratch the surface. The DJ became like
he's the radio.
He's the radio.
Yeah, he is the guy.
What channels do you listen to? I listen to Max Sullivan. I don't listen to a station. I listen to this dude or this. Remember it's an old movie, The Warriors.
Yes,
and one of the principal characters is the DJ, the woman.
Same thing with Do the Right Thing.
Yes.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, that was him. Oh, wow.
Everybody calm the fuck down.
Yeah. But yeah, it became, and then it started to get roles in TV shows, movies, things like that. The DJ. I wanted to touch on one thing that you briefly remember the TV show Friends.
Yeah.
All right. You had Ross and Rachel, right? Mm-hmm. One of the nostalgia, and this must have been in the mid to late 90s. He breaks up with Rachel, and he's like
over the radio.
No, he dedicates the song, like you said.
Yeah.
And ironically, it's a U2 song.
Hilarious.
My body's something like that. With or without.
Yeah. Classic.
And then the DJ cuts the song off, and she's like, Ross, Rachel just called. We heard what you did. We're not gonna play your song.
How about that? How about the call in, the multiple call in, and they would have like people argue with each other. This person says this and this person says that.
I love that. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, Steve just broke up with Jamie, and now we're gonna reconcile them.
I want to know, like, how desperate to save your relationship you're. I was like, Wolfman Max Friedman can help me on this.
Can I burst your bubble?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I burst your bubble? Mm-hmm. Actors.
It's all fake?
I had a radio racket.
Dude, no.
I got all of my friends on Power 106.
Let me guess, Santa Claus not real either?
Yeah, exactly. So they would cast us. I was basically a casting director for the radio for a little bit. Because I would do the gags. They would be like, we need another person. You've been on too much. I'm like, well, I got a friend. So now I got Sean doing gags.
Oh, yeah.
And then Sean's been on the radio too much, so now we got the other homie doing gags. And then every once in a while, they would have the three of us on arguing with each other, and then that would be on the radio. Because you can't have actual callers because they're unpredictable.
Wiener.
Exactly, yes.
So you're telling me in modern radio, it was basically, tune into WWE.
Yeah, basically. And yeah, so one of my favorite ones was my girlfriend, quote unquote. She thinks that I'm cheating on her with my business partner.
Okay.
Because we used to date, but then we broke up, but the business still works.
That's a good script write. Who wrote that script? Did you write it?
Some fucking college kid probably at the radio station.
I mean, it's not Shakespeare, but
but it's a good, and then so you do the argument, well, she's always like this, she's always jealous anyway, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're like, all right, we're going to hook you guys up with a reservation at the best diner in town. And then it's a free plug for the diner.
Brilliant.
And then, what do you call it? I don't get shit.
Yeah.
And you know what? Fuck you guys. I didn't even get paid. I never even got paid, bro.
I always told you, man.
Get the money up front.
Get the money up front.
I know. But I never got paid for a single guy.
Man. Come on. This is the screw job industry.
I thought that my call-ins were going to get me a role on Abbott Elementary, all right? So,
okay. But you didn't even get an omelet or a roll.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
That's a good one.
This is going to be my big break, arguing with bitches on the radio, dude.
Dude, when you're in this industry, you take every risk
Whatever you can get, I'll take what I can get.
But back to that. I don't know if you had this in your generation, but in the 80s, there was the comedy.
Yes.
People would submit original tracks that were just jokes.
Oh, like Cheech and Chong.
Similar to Cheech and Chong, but what was their hit? They had
like sketches.
Born in East LA.
So not so much the songs, but they had like
Dave's Not Here.
Look, yeah, Dave's Not Here. They also had it was a different time. Mm-hmm. Okay, they would definitely be canceled for this. I saw it recently on a movie that they did back in the day. It was just like a bunch of their characters. But Chitlin Mellon.
I didn't see that.
He was like a blues guy.
Okay. I know where you're going.
You can imagine.
I know where you're going.
He was a blues guy. So they would do characters like that.
Okay. See, we had this guy named Dr. Demento. And some of these songs, he used to wear a top hat and glasses, but he was on the radio.
You talked about this guy to me before off air.
And he would put on these weird songs. You could find these on YouTube. And we would stay up and listened to it on the radio, and he had Kinko, the kid touching clown. Oh, it's Kinko. And it was like
so it was like comedy music.
It was comedy music.
Okay.
You might have heard of fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, fish, eat them up, yum. Or
was this like Tim Burton's like retarded cousin?
No, it's crazy. You can find these online now. Someone put them on. Or what was it? They're coming to take me away. Ha ha. Hee ho ho to the funny farm.
Someone investigate Dr. Demento,
Dr.
bro.
Demento.
That guy, he's up to something, dude.
But it was such, I guess is lost to time now. The entertainment value, the fact that there was no internet.
Yeah.
There was no internet. So you would stay up and maybe you're doing the press record, like
making mixtapes.
Trying to make a tape. Oh my God, the entertainment value of the DJ. And he had like it was so great.
We had, when I was working at the radio, the block that I worked on, it was called the Safe Harbor block.
Okay.
Here's a little history lesson. The Safe Harbor block was from 11 p.m.
Safe Harbor.
Yeah, from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
Okay.
And basically that was no holds barred radio. Now, the only reason that we still did Safe Harbor was because we didn't have sponsors. We were independent
Therefore,
radio.
you're not going to rub anyone the wrong way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why when I was at KPFK, we used to, our enemy was NPR because they claimed to be, from donations from people like you. But really they were bought out by like Shell and all these fucking guys. So we used to call them National Petroleum Radio because they were taking gas money. But so we had the Safe Harbor block and that was no holds barred. History lesson. The reason Safe Harbor exists is because of George Carlin.
Because he was like the first radio comedian that would do the 7 deadly.
He did the 7 words you absolutely cannot say on radio. Thus, starting the FCC. The FCC is a direct correlation with George Carlin.
Nice.
Now, we're America. You can't just censor us like that.
Right.
But there's also common decency. So after the kids go to sleep,
you can go.
No holds barred.
Damn, man.
So I did the Safe Harbor block. I think we were probably the last station that did the Safe Harbor block. And we had shows like the one that I worked on was Sex Please. It was like a sex positive show. Then right after that was the 420 Files.
Oh,
and that was weed stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I used to work on that one too. Basically, my friend got me into the building and I just ran amok there.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So we would finish. My friend, he did all the technical stuff. He would screen the callers, all that stuff. And I would be on the radio talking shit with the host.
Dude.
And to the comedy hour, 420 Files, I've never felt more like Cheech and Chong.
Oh, my God.
Than when we did sketches for 420 Files.
So let me ask you a question because there's a lot to unpack here. You would enter the studio around like 10:30, then you guys would go live?
At 11.
At 11. Mm-hmm. I have a question because I always had this dream, because you know, as like comedians, like me, you, Sean, Jalo, we could cut it up for hours. Just do it. You know, it's an industry hazard, right?
Yeah.
When you were in the studio, and remember, we don't self-incriminate on this show, but were you guys just like partying a little bit and like just doing the show?
To be honest,
like coming up with bits and
not at all.
Really?
Yeah, the
professional.
The biggest thing that we would do.
What a waste.
Right. Me and my friend who got me into the building, we would smoke before we got on, before we went in.
Oh, okay.
And so we were just kind of fucking around. We'd be loose. I'd be kind of stupid, you know, but everybody else was very professional. Or so.
Yeah, so it seemed.
To my knowledge, everybody was very straight. Not really. That whole show was super gay. The one that I worked on. Yeah, it was. Everyone was super straight edge. Everyone was just very professional. 420 Files, though.
It got a little business.
Very stony. So we'd be finishing up our show. The DJ for 420 Files would be toking it up.
Sure.
Getting the guests in, and then they'd go on. And one of my favorite sketches, favorite thing I ever did on the radio was a sketch with me, my friend, and the DJ. I was the driver. My friend was the passenger. We're getting busted because we're smoking in the car.
Okay.
And driving. Smoking and driving.
Okay.
PSA. Don't smoke and drive. The DJ was the cop.
Good bit. Good setup.
So we had the soundboard. Boo! You know, car sounds.
The Foley audio ready to go.
Everything ready. And it's a sketch. Now he's so what are you guys doing here, huh? You know, oh, sorry, you know, we're just hanging out. And he's like, is that what you got there?
Is that what I think it is, kids?
Yeah. And so he's looking at the weed. He's like, this is pretty good stuff, man. All this stuff.
This is pretty good.
Yeah. He's like, what's that? What you got right there? It's like, oh, this is a bong, you know? He's like, all right. And he gets in the back seat. And now we're smoking with the cop.
Okay, so that's a sketch. That's the turn.
Yeah.
You think you're in trouble, and then it turns out.
Yeah, and then he just drives off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember my friend's dad. He was a DJ, like in his college years or stuff like that, and he was 60s guys, you know, the Led Zeppelin, you know, Deep Purple, whatever, all that stuff, the Doors, the Who.
Smoke on the water, man.
Smoke on the water. And he said the studio was essentially the club.
Oh,
that's where, like, you know, he's spinning the hits and like, because I think life was cooler before the internet.
Yeah.
Like
I would say before the camera phone.
You know, as much as we're on the internet, we have a channel and everything like that. But imagine being your local celebrity for spinning hits.
Oh, yeah,
That'd
dude.
be awesome, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, yeah, girls would come to the studio to see me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was not a very attractive man.
Yeah.
But
probably not even that interesting even.
He had the voice.
Yeah.
You know, like he could.
Well, to his credit, I feel like that's part of the reason why this show is as successful as it is. Look, as grassroots as we are right now, I think this show is successful for two reasons.
Why is that?
The first one is, hey everybody, welcome back to the HCAT podcast. These are the Latchkey Kids, right? We actually we're like trying to, we have a radio feel.
I've watched, since we've been doing 1,000 podcasts, this is how most of them go. 1, 2. All right, punch me in.
Yeah.
Punch me in.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Or you know what really pisses me off? The podcast thing. I know Rogan does this a lot. So they fade in.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man. I was just saying you should definitely come and like roll around with us a little bit and just like
Oh, it leads into a conversation.
Yeah, half of the conversation you already fucking missed it.
Yeah.
And then the guy goes like this. Here's the guest. Oh, we're rolling? Or are we going? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, man. So I was saying, they fucking switch the voice from regular conversation to like radio voice.
I love how we give up the secrets, the industry secrets. We give everything up.
I mean, we don't do them. That's why. We don't fucking... look, we're not trying to trick you here, guys. We made an appointment to be here. All right?
It didn't just happen.
I spent money so that we could fucking make this happen. We're not going to just sit here and pretend like we're cool guys.
Yeah, right.
I'm not fucking cool.
I get it. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Come on. Click. Yeah. Let's go.
No, yeah. This is the highlight of our week. All right? And we hope it's the highlight of yours too.
I took a day off from work
to do this. Yeah. We're losing money right now. All right? Subscribe, you motherfuckers.
Seriously, help us.
Yeah.
And if you want to sponsor, let us know.
Hey.
But anyway, I love that. We got therapy radio. Another big one. I don't know. In your household, church radio.
Oh, yeah.
I have one because when I'm feeling like a sinner, I'm just like, okay, I'm not a bad person. I'm listening to church.
Yeah, no, that's good. Oh, you have like sermons.
It's a station. It's completely church.
See, for the church station that we have out here is a little bit of both. It's like they do they'll do excerpts from a sermon that happened last week, 2 weeks ago. And then they'll cut that in with music.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the one I listen to, I think it's 108. And it's just like a guy like, Jesus died for your sins. And like, more like that type stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, church radio was always a big one. That was grandma's
her go-to on Sunday.
I need church.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah. I think it's more popular than people think.
Yeah, definitely.
I can see a lot of people these days like needing church.
Definitely, I see that for sure. For sure, I know I do. Back on we were talking about the difference between AM and FM. Right before podcasts happened.
Okay.
FM radio had a lot of talk shows. So the talk became so popular that it made it from AM to FM. So we had, before 97.1 became a pop station.
It was talk.
It was all talk. And it was one of the legends. I need to give one more person flowers.
What is that?
One of the motherfucking G's, an 818 native, bro, a motherfucking legend. Adam Carolla.
I was just going to say.
Adam Carolla was the beginning of podcasts.
Loveline. Wasn't that how it got started?
That was him.
Dr. Drew?
Yep. And then they had their own talk station. It was him, Adam Carolla in the morning. It was Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. I don't know what any of these people are doing now.
They'll be on this show.
Yeah, they'll be on soon. We'll see you soon, guys. And it was, who's the guy from VH1 that they used to always make fun of? Redheaded kid.
Kurt Loder?
No, redheaded guy. He was in like a TV show as a kid.
Oh, it'll come to me. Yeah.
But yeah, he was on there too.
Damn.
It was like Tim or Tom or something.
Okay. But yeah, I actually have a question because I've met Adam Carolla. I've met him a couple times. He's sometimes good, sometimes bad. Yeah. Was he ever a stand-up or was he just a radio guy?
I think he might have done stand-up, but for the most part, what I know him as is my dad blasting the fucking talk radio in the morning.
Right.
And Adam Carolla.
Damn. Wow. Yeah. So it was a talk show. Do you know who Dr. Ruth is? Since we're on topic.
I just know Dr. Drew.
Dr. Ruth was the sex advice person.
Oh, you know what? I think so.
Like that little lady, you'd be like, what's she about to do? You know, I don't want to get too graphic, but it was like really pushing the envelope.
Right, of what you could do.
For back in those days.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. We got to give it up for the GOAT. While we're talking about talk personalities. We can't not do the show without mentioning Howard.
Oh, my God. You're right. Howard Stern. He was the beginning of all of that, bro. He was the beginning of... Howard Stern is the reason that AM talk radio made it to FM. And then he's also the reason that FM radio became podcasts.
Yes. Yes, you're 100% right. And he was what they call a shock jock.
Right.
Which was like, he was like the first to bring on strippers and openly talk about homosexuality and certain stigmatized things.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid when he started getting famous, and then they put him on public access TV.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
You probably didn't get it out here because he was out of New York.
He was on E by the time we were...
Okay, E didn't exist.
Right.
This is like station like 13 or something.
Yeah, something obscure.
What'd you call it? The no-fly zone or...
No-fly zone? Oh, no, Safe Harbor.
Safe Harbor. You could only watch it at like midnight.
Right.
So now it's even more alluring.
Yeah.
You got to stay up. You know, I'm like 10 years old, sneaking in.
Grabbing the lotion.
Yeah.
Grabbing the napkins.
But he would do something. And he would have guests on that were not famous.
And they became famous. Like Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice to this day is still famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
The generation after me, they know Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice got so he was in movies.
Yeah.
Like he was on WCW wrestling TV. Like, oh yeah.
I felt bad for that, dude. He got like body slammed and shit. I'm just like, bro.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, like as famous as he is, you just body slammed a special ed kid.
I just love the scene where Jeff Jarrett hits him in the head with a guitar and he just goes down.
God, man.
You know they paid him nothing. Too. They were like, here's some
Wasn't there just a guy named like Gay something? Gay Al or some shit like that?
No, on Stern?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a gay. I'm sure there was a gay guy. Yeah, he was gay.
Yeah, he was gay, huh?
But that's back when it was like relevant.
Yeah.
Like now, you would, like you just said, it would be, you can't do
that nowadays.
You can't do this stuff.
Yeah.
Just taking advantage of the mentally challenged.
I mean, you kind of can. I mean, Kill Tony does it all the time, bro.
Does he?
Yeah, he has a lot of...
Do you think that show, because now we're kind of blending podcast region.
We're into podcast generation now.
Do you think he rigs it so the kids are going to bomb? Like,
no, I think he picks... I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know? I also think that comedy, there's a lot of that.
There is a lot of bombing. I mean, you can spit in the wind and find 50 failed comedians
Weirdos
out here.
and shit, yeah.
But I'm just wondering, like, when I go to a comedy show and the guy's dying on stage, I feel bad.
Right.
Like, I'm not enjoying
That's
this.
one thing I don't like about the audience or the show. Like, the culture that's made by that show.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to rip on anyone's thing. You know, we got our own fucking shit too.
Yeah.
But, the one thing that I don't like about the culture of that show is like, you have no idea how many people put the gun down out of their mouth to go do Kill Tony. And everyone's like, but you suck.
Kill yourself.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna. Hold on. Let me get through this minute, fool.
That's so messed up, bro.
The culture of that show is very slam dunk.
I that's why I think like you gave up the MacGuffin with me, Sean, we'd write the sketch, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
or we pretend to be care. That's why I think when I watch the Kill Tony show, I'm like, they knew this is not going to end well.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
You saw the guy, he was wearing a cat in a hat fucking costume, and you're like, this is gonna suck.
When you have a shirt on that says like, ha ha ha, take a joke, or
Yeah.
something, like,
Yeah. Here's what I do love is the people that need to be slam dunked also get slam dunked.
That's true.
So like the guy that's overly confident is like, he just says hate speech, and he's like, well, you guys can't take jokes. It's like, no, you're just not funny.
Yeah.
You're just not. If it was funny, I would be laughing.
Or the hot chick who thinks anything she says is going to get a laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hot, but I'm doing comedy.
Yeah.
It's like,
that is what that show is for.
okay. Yes.
That's the justice of that show. And I guess that means that it's fair.
Yeah. No,
Because the people that need some help get slam dunked on, but the people that also need to be slam dunked.
and they bring
Get
people
slammed
back on that. I don't know why we're promoting this show so
Yeah,
hard.
right.
But,
Hey, everybody, go watch Kill Tony.
imagine he has us on and he just slam dunks on us.
Dude, I mean, that's basically what the show is.
It's like, so these two idiots out in Pasadena.
Facts.
I got another one moving forward with radio. Drive time radio. Can I explain what drive time radio is?
Is that the highest traffic?
Yes.
Hour?
Yes.
Okay.
And that was like to your point, this is like back in the 70s, like people would drive like door-to-door salesmen, stuff like that. So there was an audience built in for drive time radio because you don't want to just keep hearing music, commercial. Like you said earlier in the show, like you want to connect with the personality. Like this is my DJ.
Yeah.
So from like what, 8 to 12.
They get the hot shot pitcher.
Exactly.
They get the closer in.
You could do a little bit of comedy, a little bit of prank, a little bit of
the variety hour.
Perfectly said.
Yeah.
Perfectly said.
Yeah, that's something definitely. And I pray to God, man, that makes a comeback. The variety hour. If it has to be a podcast, if it has to be a Twitch stream, whatever it has to be, I really hope that the variety hour makes its way back to entertainment because that was so much fun.
You know the restaurant we go usually after the show once a week or something?
What do you mean? King's?
No, well, King, we can.
That's why I was. We can openly fucking shout out Kings.
The bar.
Okay. The bar we go to. Yeah.
Most of the people that listen to our show do it in the car. Yeah. They don't. The people talk. They're like, "Oh, I heard your show," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah." Like, I didn't see like the YouTube videos go. They're like, "No, we listen in the car." Yeah. Like, so our iTunes listenership is probably higher than our YouTube viewership.
I think it might be a little bit similar.
Yeah. But anyway, drive time, variety.
I used to do a fake radio show and it was basically I would put it on SoundCloud, and I think on YouTube, and it was basically just me doing a few gags. My friend Lev Swift, who I used to make music with, we would do radio gags because we loved radio so much that our first like mixtape, we called it Space Bros Radio.
Oh, you told me this.
So we made music.
It's a good name.
And instead of just, hey, here's the 5 songs, we did music, sketch, whatever. So then we started doing that with local artists. Hey, submit your music.
Dude, I'm
going to make a radio show.
I can't believe that didn't catch.
It's just hard to get so many people involved in something.
Great idea.
Yeah. But definitely I want to do like a variety type show at some point.
Dude, we have space.
Yeah, we have the spot.
Equipment.
Hey, shout out Foundrspace. But yeah, we have the spot to do it now. Yeah, I definitely want to do something like that.
We got 2 studios. We got anyway, we'll talk off camera. But I like that idea.
Right.
Storytime radio when I was a kid. Oh, we can't not do this. Storytime radio was the origins of Roy Rogers, Orphan Annie, where it was literally
what about, War of the Worlds.
Like you mentioned earlier, like Foley Studio, like it's windy outside, like
some fucking guy shaking a cup.
Yeah. We had it when I was a kid, believe it or not. There was like the last bastion of Storytime radio was Sunday morning. They called it Sunday morning cereal box.
Okay.
And believe it or not, as dorky as it was, when all these other kids are watching Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, Transformers, we were listening to but it expanded your imagination.
Because you had to picture it.
You had to picture it.
Yeah.
And they were so good. These actors, there was like one guy doing like 8 voices, a girl doing like 3 voices, Oh my God. But we have to talk about the most famous War of the Worlds.
Yeah. Fools smoked themselves because of it.
I wonder how true that is. I've heard questionable facts.
You don't think anyone actually smoked themselves?
Come on. Little green men coming down from flying saucers and,
I think that's just the excuse. I think he was going to do it anyway.
I think it was just selling tickets.
Yeah. It's like an excuse. It's like The Exorcist. Remember when The Exorcist came out? They're like, people are having heart attacks in the fucking
True.
In the theater.
Yeah.
You're like, I got to go see this.
The hype.
What is wrong with people?
I don't know, man.
What the hell is wrong with where like
I want to see someone die in the theater.
Not even that. Oh, it's that scary that this guy died? Yeah. I got to see it. That's like when you pick up something that smells like shit and you go, "Oh, this is terrible." And your homie smells it.
It's like,
what the hell is your problem?
You got to smell this. It's awful.
It's terrible. Smell this. What the hell is that, dude?
That's men.
Yeah.
It's men. Yeah. But yeah, you got anything else on this one?
No, I think we are officially at the end of our show today.
Yeah, we had a little bit of history, a little bit of laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Could do country music station, but I don't.
Okay. A lot of reminiscing, I feel like.
Yeah, totally.
On this one, I like I said, close to home. I loved the radio growing up. It was like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
It was the one thing that in the car saved me.
Let me ask you a question and then we'll go out. Like you said, everything comes back. Is radio going to come back in your generation or younger generation? The younger generation below you I don't even know what they know what we're talking about.
What channel is what?
They don't know anything.
I think that the spirit of radio will come back. Might not be on the actual radio.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that as podcasts become so overly saturated, I think as much as I love Rogan, as much as I love Flagrant and Brilliant Idiots, as these type of shows where you just, like I said, already having a conversation, oh, we're rolling.
Right.
As that starts to become oversaturated and so many people try to do it, I think people are going to try to stand out. And the way to do that is the variety show, is to keep it fresh. You know what I mean? And I think the spirit of radio will come back.
I got one more last point that just popped in my head because you just remember the show Frasier?
No. I used to change the channel, bro.
Kelsey Grammer, but the whole thing was he was a radio therapist. And he worked at a radio station. He had that great voice, and people would call in and get. This was way before, like, well, actually, I don't know, but it was great. It was great TV, and I think kids are gonna watch that show and be like, "What is this?"
Right.
You know, and then the sports guy came on after him.
Right.
You know, it was pretty cool.
And I think that, like streaming channels, stuff like that, they're gonna run out of shit to do. And they're going to start doing the radio again.
I think it's going to come back.
I fucking hope so, dude.
I do too.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. All right, everybody. If you enjoyed this episode, thank you for watching. First of all, thanks for tuning in. This is why we're successful.
Yeah.
Because this is the part of radio that is unique.
Connects with the audience.
So thank you, everybody, for listening. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you very much. If you like this episode, if you're listening in the car right now, drive time radio, as you say.
Right.
If you're listening in the car right now and you want to see our beautiful faces, you can catch the full episodes on YouTube at Age Gap Podcast. If you want to see shorter, faster, funnier versions of the show, you can catch the clips on Instagram and TikTok at agegap.pod. And we do a quick shout out to our small business.
Alex Cortez up in Kingsburger.
Alex at Kingsburger. Thank you.
Woodbury and Raymond in Altadena.
What would you suggest?
Pastrami and Swiss, baby.
Pastrami, yeah, definitely.
But the breakfast burritos
are the best.
Yeah.
And thank you to Foundrspace for letting us record here. They always treat us very well. They give us like open access to everything. We get to use whatever they got. They give it to us. So thank you. And as always, Kevin, if you like the song that's playing right now,
Donnie
Narco made it. All right, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Peace.